Hey, now it's the Rob from 106.1 Kiss FM here with my tag team partner in podcasting. Oh, would you stop? Will you be serious? What a weasel.
I'm sorry, the camera wasn't on my face. My bad. It was on my Stanley Cup Championship Penguins shirt. My bad.
You know what's better than being a Stanley Cup champion?
What?
Is not being from Pittsburgh.
Oh, come on.
Yes, I just got to be honest with you.
It was a good night for the Steelers last night. That was good, too.
You truly are a weasel, Valeri. Well, the joke's on you. I don't care about real sports. I only care about wrestling.
Yeah, I took this shirt from a homeless guy. I didn't even know.
I completely believe that.
That's what we do. So
Pittsburgh's a great radio city. Market number 23, right?
Right. It is. There's some pretty good radio stations there.
Yeah.
I talk about the Steelers today just for a second to say that if I didn't see something on Raw last night or I missed something, it was because I was flipping back and forth between the Monday Night Football game with the Steelers and Raw. But I feel like I caught enough. I feel like I caught enough of Raw. I
didn't think there was a whole lot there. I watched it. I was starting to doze by the end, but I've got notes on everything, and I'm ready to roll if you are.
Let's do it. Let's just rock and roll. Let's do this.
All right, cool. My first note came from the opening segment, and a lot of my notes I didn't even make this time because I don't want to sound like a broken record. Yes, I thought the commentary is actually continuing to get worse.
Oh, it really is. By the end, I was like, Corey Graves, he really is bad.
Yeah.
He's trying to, I guess he's the heel announcer, and he's just so bad at it. And and Byron Saxton fighting each other. It just sounds so bad.
That is so corny.
I can't stand it.
Yeah, I don't like it either, but I don't want to harp on that because we do it every week. This is one that's been coming up quite a bit. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but Dana Brooke, and it seems like the more time goes by, the more she's showing she's out of her league. She's not ready.
Yeah, she's not ready. They put her in a really good spot. There are a lot of people that might have been ready there, but she's certainly not.
Yeah, I know Bailey's up now, and I think that I don't think they ever thought of her worth as more than Bailey's, but the fact that she was up there before Bailey didn't make a lot of sense to me, or I want to see Asuka up and stuff, but I know that I know it's not always the best person gets called up. There's always more to it than that, but she's just not ready. She looks out of place.
It's like a puzzle, and now that NXT has become its own significant brand, I think moving people up is actually harder now because you don't want to just deplete the brand. It's not just developmental at this point.
Yeah, that's why Bailey and Asuka were there as long as they were, I think, and are.
And that's why Samoa Joe's still there, and that's why Finn Balor was there as long as he was, because you can't just rip the whole roster apart and start over on NXT because it's bigger than that now.
Do you have value in Joe? Joe's never been a guy I got. And yes, you can make your Samoan jokes, but he's not good.
And I think you're going to get a big disagreement from listener Tony that's been listening, because he was telling me the other day that Samoa Joe's one of his favorites. He would only watch TNA for 2 years. He didn't watch WWE. I never watched TNA ever. So this is the first I'm experiencing AJ Styles. I'm never going to pretend like I'm one of those wrestling guys that I follow New Japan.
Thank you.
Or Ring of Honor, or I don't like Dean Ambrose when he uses props. I don't know that stuff.
There are some people who do follow that stuff, and then there's some people who don't, especially in the podcast realm, who like to pretend that they do. And I don't get that. That's just weird to me. Why am I to sound more knowledgeable? I guess I don't watch New Japan. I respect it. I know a little bit about it. I used to follow it when I would read the Wrestling Observer and stuff, but I was never, up until last month, I didn't even have the channel it was on. I'm not going to pretend to you I know stuff I don't know.
I didn't know what the Bullet Club was. I didn't know who Gallows and Anderson were when they showed up and everybody freaked out.
I know them from WWE.
Samoa Joe, I've heard of a lot. I saw his match against Finn Balor in the cage. I thought that was good.
I did watch TNA for several years during the Joe heyday, and I never got it. When Angle went over there, they had me for a few years.
Okay.
You remember, that was the time you stiffed me on that pay-per-view.
I said, I tried to order it, and it didn't come through.
Yeah, there's a long-running feud between Valeria and I. So in 2006, neither one of us watched TNA. I was a poor, broke kid living in Montana. We were so excited that Kurt Angle was heading over to TNA that we agreed out on a whim we would buy this pay-per-view that we knew Angle was going to be at. And we would talk about it after the show was over. And very conveniently, his cable provider said, no, you can't get it. But my cable provider said, go ahead and buy this pay-per-view.
My cable provider knew better.
I liked it so much I watched TNA for like maybe 2 or 3 years after that.
I never saw an episode.
So, okay, so that's that. And same thing with MMA. Like I'll make opinions about MMA, but I'll forward them with the fact that I don't know anything about what I'm talking about.
Sometimes I feel like I know what I'm talking about until I talk to my MMA friends, and then I know I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, this is really just an opinion-based podcast. So
I have no credentials. The only reason I'm doing it is because we're friends.
Yeah, that's and I'm only doing it for because we love wrestling. That's what we like to talk about.
Right.
So, okay. My next note, I was kind of surprised this didn't get made more of a big deal about, whether it be on social media or on a storyline. But where I come from, I thought for sure that the ending of the first match, the women's match, was going to be a double pinfall because Sasha's shoulders were clearly down during that pin.
Yeah, which was clearly a mistake because they would have made a big deal about it if it had been on purpose. Yeah,
it was a cool roll up that she won with, and it looked good, but her shoulders were down.
Right.
So there was that. Like I said, I did not take a ton of notes. Jericho is still delivering his best work. He's killing it. Every time he's on camera, I love it now. And I feel like he's a guy that I have really developed a reappreciation for. He's so retro now.
Right. Well, and I agree with that. I think, I liked him from the beginning of his comeback, but this is one of the best ones. This is his best return.
It's clearly the best return. Yeah, he's on par with his, late '90s stuff. I feel like, and that's
his in-ring work is okay.
It's fine.
It's fine for what it is. He has a dad bod now, but he's older. He's an older wrestler, and I think he holds up pretty well for it.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I would prefer him doing, if I had to pick one, I'd prefer him doing the character work now as opposed to the ring work if I had to pick one.
Right. Me too.
So here's a comment I wanted to make last week, and I kicked myself because I forgot. I even wrote it down, and I must have just passed over it as I've got my bullet points here. And I think Steve's going to appreciate this one. I'm assuming Steve's watching right now. While I don't want to sound anti-Sami Zayn. I'm not. Sami Zayn's mic work is awful.
It doesn't really work, but his in-ring is up there so high.
True.
that he can kind of fake it till he makes it. Like, I'm going to give him a pass. You've got to be good at one of two things. You've got to be great. You have to be both good at all of it.
Right.
But for me, you either have to be able to deliver in the ring and then come along with the mic, or deliver on the mic and then come along in the ring. Like Enzo is a great example of this. His in-ring work, you can tell he's trying. It's nothing special, nothing to write home about. If he wasn't great on the microphone, no one would care about Enzo Amore.
Yeah, well, I think that Enzo and Cass, they make up for each other's. Like, where Cass excels in the ring, I think that his character is like kind of a second banana to Enzo.
Exactly. Conversely, if Sami Zayn could work the mic like Enzo does and still wrestle like Sami Zayn, he would be one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah, but his mic work is garbage. And last night was a good example because of how long it was. And he was in there with Jericho, thank goodness. So it didn't like really come off that bad. And the week before it was really quick, but I was like face palming, like, man, why can't he just get this? Yeah,
you want him to step up, and I don't want to say that he's not ready, because I think he's ready. He just, I don't know. They need to feed him a couple good things. He needs a good feud.
It's just like me and like my sister. Like, we have the same parents and stuff, and I have no athletic ability. And to me, I'm more the Enzo type, where I can talk. I feel like I do a radio show, and my sister, who is like a tremendous athlete, has unlimited potential when it comes to her sports. Rooms full of trophies.
Greatest softball player of all time.
Yeah, literally. And she told me before she'd be terrified to do a job that I do, talking in front of people like this. You know, so it's like some people just can't get both of them down, but when you do, you've got magic, and some people can do both. So
yeah.
There was that. While Zayn's mic work bothers me, I'm actually excited for this Jericho Zayn match coming up in the Champions that I kind of hope turns into a feud. This could be a really good way to keep Jericho as the sidekick of Kevin Owens and keep him busy in a feud.
Exactly. It could help with Jericho while Kevin Owens is dealing with his own stuff, and it'll help Sami Zayn. Ring time and mic time with Jericho can only help the Young Bucks. It can only help you.
Yeah.
Sparring with Jericho is only going to make him better.
God, when you said the Young Bucks, I actually thought you were talking about the tag team, and that's why I got distracted there for a second.
Be serious.
I know. now I'm the weasel.
Who's the weasel now? You're the weasel.
All right. My next note had to do with the next woman's segment. I know there was a big lapse in time there, but there wasn't much in the middle that didn't feel like anything besides filler to me.
I'm glad I missed that. I was probably watching the Steelers at that point.
That's fine. My next note comes from the Alicia Fox and Nia Jax segment. I have two thoughts about that one. The first one was, my goodness, Alicia Fox really looks like Beyonce.
Does she?
Yeah, you need to see her. And I mean, like last night. I mean, like dead on. And
I need to see this.
What's that?
I need to see this. I'll be going back and checking that out.
Just visually, she looks like Beyonce, especially, and when with her outfit is also Beyonce like. And as much as Alicia Fox looks like Beyonce, Nia Jax sounds like a transsexual. I mean, her voice is very manly. But I gotta tell you, I appreciate her. I like that she looks different than the other girls. I think that's something wrestling sorely needs, both in the men and women's department. That's why I like Kevin Owens a lot. He doesn't look like the bodybuilder type.
Thank you for the compliment, Rob. I've been working very hard lately. Thank you for the compliment. My name is Nia Jax.
Your voice isn't deep enough. If you went China deep, it wouldn't be deep enough. And I mean,
Thank you for the compliment, Rob. Thank you for the compliment. I can't get it deep enough.
So I hope people agree with me. I'm not trying to pick on her, but
I am. Put me. Oh, that would be great. I think if they put her in squash matches with jobber guys, it would be even better. Just once, like put her in there with Americano or whatever his face is, and have her rip him into shreds.
The jobber's name last night, by the way, was Brandon Scott. Shout out to Brandon Scott, who he had high hopes against Bo Dallas, but didn't get the job done.
Bo Dallas is now squashing guys.
Yeah, Bo Dallas is essentially a jobber himself. Like, honestly, when he gets in the ring with a jobber, I'm ready to take bets because I don't know what's going to happen.
You're ready for somebody to 1, 2, 3 kid him.
Yeah, like at any point in time, Brandon Scott could be, in addition to like the cruiserweight division next week. Right. So who knows what's going to happen when that stuff happens.
By the way, so excited to see which cruiserweights they're bringing in.
Yeah, well, we've got to look at it. All I care about is that Jack Gallagher is going to be there. I'm so excited for next week.
Yeah, I'm excited for Wednesday, too. I'm excited for tomorrow night. I think the finals will be fun.
I want to continue to compliment Alicia Fox and Nia Jax. Their segment was actually better than the first segment, which involved all the women's champions and like the legit workers of the group. I really like how I consider her like, I mean, I hate comparing it to, the big guys, but like a Bam Bam Bigelow type or a Bull Nakano type who they don't look traditional. And I like that.
Oh, Rob, you're making me blush. Oh, Rob, you sure know how to make a girl feel special. Oh, you're really tickling my fancy now, Rob.
I'm gonna have to make sure I make a Nia Jax note every time I see her. That was great. All right,
I feel so pretty right now. Thanks, Rob.
All right, let's keep going.
Let's move.
The Shining Stars, I feel like they have no place on Raw, let alone defeating Enzo and Cass 2 weeks in a row. WTF is going on?
Oh, and first of like 3 examples last night in a row. if you're from another country or just not from the continental United States, you're a bad guy. Hashtag racism, hashtag wrestling.
It's like the hashtag 1970s all over again. This person looks different than you and I. This person is bad.
He's just like Jinder Mahal. Play some Aladdin music and put that dumb scarf on his head, and everyone will hate him. I was like, oh my God, how racist is this?
This is our funniest episode yet. At least I have to say, you're on fire. You're killing it. Valeria's awake today.
And the shining stars. I just kept thinking like, all these jokes that come along with like shining a turd. You can't shine a turd. Like that's them. They're the shining turd.
The shining turd. Yeah, we try to shine a turd, but the polished turds.
Wow, they gave him 2 wins in a row, Rob. I'm starting to get a little twitchy about it.
Over Enzo and Cass.
I don't understand it.
I don't get it either. And then I have 2 notes about the main event segment. Here's a problem I'm having with the main event scene right now. Ready? Yeah. You've got Kevin Owens.
Yes.
Seth Rollins.
Yes, sir.
Roman Reigns.
Sure.
Here's my problem. Kevin Owens.
Yes.
I don't know if he is a heel or a face. Seth Rollins.
Yes.
I don't know if he is a heel or a face.
Sure.
Roman Reigns. I don't know if he is a heel or a face.
Tweeners fighting each other.
No, it's unorganized to me. They're not clearly defined. I don't know who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. I know who I like, but I don't know who the crowd is supposed to be cheering for.
I think that the way the writing's set up, Kevin Owens is the bad guy. He's the bad guy.
Okay. I'm not positive about that. I'm just saying,
I thought Seth Rollins was the good guy.
Oh, I don't think that.
Until the Foley thing, so maybe not.
The only good guy thing he's done is got pedigreed by Triple H. That's it.
And the Roman Reigns thing, he is a face that nobody wants to see.
So here's okay.
He gets booed more than the bad guys.
So here's what we've got then. So to clarify, you've got the face that no one wants to cheer, the heel that no one wants to boo, and then Seth Rollins, who is cloudy. We don't know what he is.
Right.
Isn't that confusing?
It doesn't bother me though, because I'm just enjoying it. Like I just kept thinking to myself, please clean up the Clash of Champions main event. Please clean it up. Tonight's your chance to clean it up. It's not even a Roman Reigns thing at this point. I don't want another triple threat. I don't want the title to change hands because someone that didn't have the title was pinned. I want to see a main event between 2 guys that I like, and Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens will put on, I think, a 5-star match. I think it'll be amazing. It should be anyways. Watch it suck butt because I expect it to be good.
I'll say 4, but I don't think it'll be 5. Well, before you continue, because I know you're on a roll here, my very last note, you're nailing it right now, and maybe you have the answer. I'll admit I was dozing at the end, but I am confused as to what the main event is at Night of Champions.
Okay, so the main event, because Roman Reigns lost, he lost the match. So he is no longer in the main event. It is Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. However, Mick Foley told Seth Rollins if he interfered, there'd be repercussions. So that leaves it wide open.
But didn't the match restart?
It restarted. However, Seth Rollins hasn't received his punishment. We don't know he could be pulled from the main event altogether.
Okay, so my note is valid then. It is confusing.
It's very confusing. It's wide open for a reason. Mick Foley's going to do something negative to Seth Rollins next week as a punishment. But what I still
predict Roman Reigns will wind up in there.
I don't though, not because of the way that it ended. They finally brought Rusev back, who's on a honeymoon, so they kind of wrote him out for a minute. He's back.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. I was dozing, I admit.
Yeah, so Rusev comes back and in brutal fashion ends the show by breaking Roman Reigns in half, which makes me so happy because I liked Roman Reigns in the U.S. title hunt. It made sense, and all of a sudden Finn Balor got hurt, and he was just like, forget the U.S. title. I'm in the middle of a thing with this is how Roman Reigns. I think this is how Roman Reigns talks backstage. Yeah, see, I'm Roman Reigns, and I'm wearing a bulletproof vest, and I think I want the world title again.
Yeah, sir.
I'm the man. Believe that.
I'm hanging out with Zach Gallagher and the Vaudevillains, see?
And then he's off he's like, man, believe that, see?
Believe that. Okay, so I'm right then. It is certainly confusing, and you nailed one thing. I will be happy.
I will be okay here. I'll be livid if Roman Reigns gets inserted into the main event. I will be thrilled if he's taking on Rusev again. That feud is great.
That feud is great, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. And so he was humiliated. He was ripped to shreds by Rusev last night. Rusev cost him the title shot. They're going to have their match at Clash of the Champions. Great. So now you've got the U.S. title shot. That's taken care of. Clearly, you're going to have the Shining Stars fighting Enzo and Cass at Clash of Champions. You're going to have New Day, Gallows, and Anderson. And I think the main event...
I'm into that, too, by the way.
What'd you say?
I'm into New Day and Gallows and Anderson.
Me too. I think the New Day is about to lose the belts.
Is that official, or is that a prediction from the match happening?
It's all prediction. I don't know anything for sure. Have we met? I know nothing.
No, I didn't know if they announced it and I missed it.
No, I don't know. I don't.
Okay.
I don't. You know, I was watching the Steelers game.
Anything else you want to throw in? I mean, we don't. There's no reason we have to make them all half an hour.
I need. Can we make it just 45 seconds shorter? That Kevin Owens shirt is amazing, and I need one. I love his shirt, and that's my final note.
I got an email this morning from WWE that it was advertising two things. It was advertising the Kevin Owens shirt and this like ridiculously expensive Bret Hart statue, and I'm like, I want this whole email. I want everything on it.
I want all of it.
Yeah, me too. That is a great shirt. All right, then if there's nothing else that needs to be said, let's go ahead and wrap it up then. We'll be back. I think we'll have one on Thursday, whether it be CWC, whether it be SmackDown. I was like, what are you doodling over there?
Bye, Rob. See you later, Rob.
You need thicker paper in that studio. All I see is the notes on the back.
In 1985, Ringo Starr became the first Beatle to become a grandfather.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Bye, everybody. Kisses.